they talking real loud, spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Look at my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Look at my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Look at my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, hello Buckhorst DC, Vince I am from the UK, Claudette, Danny Joe is here, Juju. All right, let's get into it. Dark Tube. All right, Love Christy, Marie James is here. All right. Chris B is in the virtual building. Wallet of Truth, Aquarius MC. All right, let's get it popping. Diane, I see you, beloved. Pincy Lola is here. All right. Miss B Greer or Grier. Okay, with that, hey, Truth Brown. All right. Mr. Elevation, Millicent. All right, Cherokee Citadel. Okay, so with that all being said, let's get this party started. I see you, Gloria. Okay, Bungani is here. All right. Chili Willy from Philly, Deronda. Okay, so with that all being said, without further ado, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes, and then we'll get it started. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find her products at Walmart.com. Okay, so let's get into this very sad story about Nolan Xavier Wells. Okay, so he was reported missing, and now sadly, he has been found deceased. Okay, so let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go. We're going to start at the beginning when they said that he was missing. Okay, 18 years old. Went out with some of his friends. And I find it very interesting because none of these friends look like him. And how many times do we have to see these stories? And when will our people learn? Okay, sad fact of the matter is some of our people just don't learn. Okay, anyway, let's get into it.
The search continues for a teen reported missing from Horn Island. 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells was last seen yesterday around 3 o'clock on the east end of Horn Island. Jackson County Sheriff's Marine Patrol, DMR, the U.S. Coast Guard, and the United Cajun Navy were canvassing the island today. I'm told the longer this search goes on, the more dire the outcome, especially in a disappearance on an island like this.
After 48 hours is when the survivability index starts to go down dramatically. There were some people that thought he might have, wandered off into the middle of the island. Maybe they have that lake, but we sent people up there today, and if he was barefoot, there's no way he made it up there. There's cactuses and there's just a lot of thorny brush and whatnot. He would not have comfortably never make it to the middle of the island. He probably would have turned around and went back toward the beach.
Now, if you saw Wells yesterday at the island and you have not spoken to law enforcement, give Jackson.
So check this out, right? Y'all know that's.
Now, they said that some say that he may have wandered off. Well, who said that besides the people that were with him? Who else would? I mean, and why wouldn't they know where he is? They weren't keeping up with him. And I think it's very suspicious that someone had his phone. Okay, what were they doing with his phone? Because we all know that we keep our phones close by. Okay, so make that make sense. And also, people can track you by your phone. And I think that's what his family tried to do. But unfortunately, he didn't even have the phone.
Thank you, Brandy. Here at the Lake Mars boat launch is where the the search party is going to be set up. You can see here over my shoulder, the Jackson County Mobile Command Unit is already here and set, and there is a pickup truck on the other side of it for the Jackson County Sheriff's Office as well. Now, they were here yesterday looking and searching the area. What we know right now is that Nolan Wells was last seen without a shirt in blue swim trunks with some sunglasses on around 3 p.m. on the 4th of July over at Horn Island. Now, he went out there with some friends to celebrate the weekend and celebrate the holiday and has not been seen, like I said, since 3 p.m. Now, the search party is expected to continue today. The United Cajun Navy is expected to also take some aircrafts up in the air to help with the search efforts. I've already heard about 2 planes go over my head this morning as well. We got a chance to speak with the United Cajun Navy earlier about this investigation moving forward.
If you were one of the group that was with him, or if you were on the island and you were there and saw anything, please don't be afraid to come forward and tell the authorities exactly what you know, no matter what you might think might be some consequences or whatnot. But it's very important right now in these critical moments that we get truthful, confirmable information.
Okay, he clearly thinks the friends did it just listening to him. He said, don't worry and be fearful of consequences. Okay, you heard that? I find this very interesting. Let's go to this news report where they say they have found his body and it's been confirmed that it's him. Because they gave a report saying that it wasn't him, and then they came back and said that it was him.
With breaking news.
Breaking news, a body has been found on Horn Island near where missing 18-year-old Nolan Wells went missing. Search crews like this one you see here in the air have been searching for him for more than 40 hours now. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Brandy McGill. Will Polston has been on the scene at a command post in Jackson County all morning as they search, and he now joins us live. Good morning to you, Will.
Hey, good morning, Brandy. We got word here just at about 8:45 that there was a body found on Horn Island, and the officials are now working on bringing that back. Now, as of right now, we do not have an identity of the body that was found, but I can confirm that Nolan Wells' family is here at the Lake Mars boat launch. Now, they've asked us not to show the camera in that direction right now of the family grieving. There is quite a bit of family and friends here from Nolan's family, but like I said, we do not have identity as of right now. Sheriff Ledbetter did confirm that a park ranger ended up finding the body that was found, and the coroner was here earlier and has since left. They left right at about 10 o'clock, just after 10 a.m., waiting on getting official confirmation on the identity, cause of death, and everything else in between. Of course, as we find out more information, we're going to be updating you on our website at WLOX.com. But as of right now, a really somber scene as the family all gathered around, hugging and trying to enjoy each other's company during a somber time. Again, still waiting to find out the official identification of the body found, though. Reporting live in Jackson County, Will Polston.
You all notice that it's the same station reporting this, because why isn't this getting more news coverage? Okay. And so here's a report from Capital B News. Christine Wansley posted on social media that she and her family are absolutely devastated at the loss of her son, Nolan Wells. Okay, this is posted on Christine Wansley's Facebook. That's his mother. What should have been a fun-filled holiday weekend for college student Nolan Xavier Wells turned into a massive search for the 18-year-old. Local news outlet WLOX in Biloxi, Mississippi reported Monday afternoon that the Jackson County Sheriff's Department confirmed that a body matching the description of Wells had been found by the U.S. Park Service. They say a fisherman found him. Now, the body was discovered around 8:45 a.m. on the west end of Horn Island. Wells was last seen on July the 4th on the island, where he was hanging out with a group of friends. The friends returned home, but no one has come forward with any information about what happened to him. So they just went on home like it was all good. They didn't have a care in the world. I mean, this is very interesting. Now, the friends returned home, but no one's come forward with any information about what happened to him. Wells, a general business major and football player for Southwest Mississippi Community College, was wearing blue swim trunks, no shirt, and sunglasses. County Coroner Bruce Lynn Jr. said DNA testing is being done with the family, okay, according to WLOX. Now, the search for Wells has been called off, according to the United Cajun Navy, a grassroots rapid response organization who also has been assisting local law enforcement agencies. Capital B reached out to the Sheriff's Department and Jackson County Coroner's Office, but did not hear back by publication. So Christopher Wells Sr., Nolan's grandfather, wrote on Facebook that Wells' his parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley, prayed for a positive outcome, but are now preparing for the worst, now that his grandson's body may have been found, saying it's time for answers, but be mindful they need space and time to grieve. There has been enough finger pointing. Let law enforcement do their job. So in a post, Christine Wansley thanked everyone for the support, love, and resources over the past few days, saying that his father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated. My heart is broken for my sweet son, who is always willing to cheer and uplift others. Nolan was a special soul. God took his time creating our son. There has been no official reports or additional information from those who were present about what happened. Now, in the 2 days since Wells has been missing, local authorities say it's been an all boots on the ground search as his terrified parents search for answers. Also assisting in the search were the Department of Marine Resources, the Gulf Islands National Seashore, and the United States Coast Guard. Let me tell you all something. The fact that his friends went home, so-called friends, because they weren't really friends, but the fact that they went home, didn't even bother to try to help or aid in the search, didn't provide any significant details or information, clearly, and they just went on about their merry way. Like, this is all crazy, and they knew what happened to him. That's why I didn't have anything to say, because they probably dumped him over the side of the boat. But let me continue, and that's exactly what I think. So anyway, goes on to say, also assisting in the search were the Department of Marine Resources, the Gulf Islands National Seashore, and the United States Coast Guard. Horn Island is a barrier island off the Mississippi coast, south of Ocean Springs, where Wells is from, and is only accessible by private boat, according to the National Park Service. So Wells' disappearance and his being the only Black person in the group have social media buzzing with debates about why his race matters. Well, I'm sorry, but there has been a myriad of Black people that have come up missing or dead in the company of all white folk. I don't know why Black people don't learn, okay? Now, let's talk about it, because there was Peter Bernardo Spencer. Do you all remember him? He was a Jamaican immigrant, only 29 years old, when he went on a camping trip with all white friends, so he thought, and they shot him and murdered him. They shot him 9 times. Now, their excuse for shooting him was they said that he started acting crazy and picked up his gun. So they all shot him simultaneously in self-defense, okay? And that's the story that flew. Then there was the 14-year-old Jason Smith, if you all remember, from Louisiana, whose father had gone to a trip to California, and Jason went out with his white friends, about 8 of them. One of them's father was an FBI agent, and he goes out there, and he ends up drowning in a lake, and his father said he would never have voluntarily gotten into the lake because he can't swim. Not to mention, his father says that he was atomized with an S and graped and had bruising all about his face as though he'd been beaten. Okay, and his organs were missing, if I'm not mistaken. Now, then let's not forget 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson, who was last seen in the company of 2 white boys, okay, at the school when he was found rolled up into a mat, okay, and then one of the 2 boys that last saw him alive, their father is also an FBI agent. Isn't that interesting? Okay, and then let's not forget Tamala Hartsford, the 40-year-old Black woman who was in Forsyth County, Georgia, okay, which has long been a sundown town, okay, and she was at the house of a white person. There were about 10 people there having a sleepover, grown folks having a sleepover, and this is a married woman with children, but she never returned home. She was found dead the next morning on the backyard lawn. Okay, and nobody seems to know what happened. They all thought, well, maybe she was tipsy and fell over, but the balcony was only about 5 feet off the ground. Okay, and that was November the 4th of 2018, and that's just to name a few. We don't even have to go into the young man named Isaiah, and I don't remember his last name, but he went on a boat with some of his friends who didn't look like him, and then he turned up dead, and that was maybe around 2019 or 2018 or 2020. And then also, let's not forget the Black guy who went on a trip to Greece with about 9 of his white friends. They allowed him to be beaten to death by some Serbs who were hating on him. Okay, because some white woman wanted to take pictures with him, and they were jealous. So they followed him outside and beat him to death, while his friends, who he went on the trip with, stood around and watched. Not one of them lifted a finger to help. Okay, so there's that. Any more reasons you need to not be the only one amongst these people? Okay, let me continue. So anyway, goes on to say, I see too many people, particularly Black people, okay, already criticizing Nolan for going to this island as the only Black person with his white friends. This is what Ibram X said, Kendi, author and historian. This is what they wrote on Instagram, saying, implying, if not saying, he should have known better. Well, yeah, he should have. And if he did know better, it's because his parents didn't teach him better. Okay, that's just the sad fact of the matter. All right. I mean, all Black parents should be teaching their kids these things. What are you doing? Okay. Anyway, goes on to say, implying, if not saying, he should have known better. Implying, if not saying, whatever happened to him is partially, if not totally, his fault. No one's saying it's his fault. People are just saying that he was naive. Okay, which is exactly the outcome of internalized racist ideas. Anything that happens is up to us is our fault, not the persons who did this to us, not the racist structure that regularly allows it. No, it's not your fault, but you should know better than to be hanging out with a bunch of these people that don't look like you after you've heard all of these myriads of stories of other Black people hanging out with these people by themselves and then them not turning up home. Okay, now Early Monday, online conversations grew as blogs and Black content creators wondered what happened to the college freshman. Many questioned why, as the only Black person, Wells was left behind, and the lack of details have emerged. And don't you all remember that just about a week or so ago, I showed you all the video that was not funny with a young Black guy who was about 14 or 15, went out there with a white family and they left him in the water knowing he couldn't swim with a little bitty life vest on that wasn't even his size. And another white family, thank God, came along and helped him. Do you remember that? And he seemed that he wasn't even taking it serious. Like he didn't seem to have any idea why they really left him out there knowing he couldn't swim. And then they were making monkey sounds. Okay. What if he still thinks they're his friends? Now, with that all being said, goes on to say, many questioned why, as the only Black person, Wells was left behind, and the lack of details that have emerged, which heightens concerns rooted in the history of racial violence between Black and white people. Some have speculated that foul play may be involved, although it has not been confirmed by authorities. Well, when it is confirmed, they won't tell us. They'll just act like it was something trivial, something that just happened. Okay, they never want to tell the truth about these situations. How is this able to just keep happening? One person asked. What happened to this poor baby? Now, the case also has become likening it to the mystery of Tamala Horsford, who died in 2018. That's the woman who went to that house with the white folk, and the mother of 5 was found in the backyard after attending an overnight house party in Forsyth County, Georgia. She was the only Black person in the group. For years, the family had sought answers about what happened. Well, I already know what happened. They killed her and threw her in the backyard. That was a sacrifice. You all also remember Bobby, what was his name? Bobby Quarles Johnson or something like that. Y'all remember the little boy who was 17? The white lady and her son picked him up from his house the day before Halloween, and then they found him dead. Y'all remember that? Not too far from the lady's house. She says that he left her house walking. Why would he leave your house walking, ma'am, when you're the one that picked him up? You should have had the decency to take him back home. But no, they killed him because the lady fled town in a U-Haul, if you remember. They had to catch her. And then let's not forget how the neighbor, who was also a teenager, said that their car smelled like bleach. That's because they cleaned it out. Y'all remember that? This is all so sad. All so sad. Prayers and condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones, especially his parents. This is absolutely egregious. I hate it for them. Okay. Miss B says, we always try to be accepted. We need to accept ourselves. Don't be so trusting. I really believe they set up anyways. Yes, absolutely. I agree, beloved. And thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Here's the thing. Some Black folk don't teach their children about racism and the consequences of having people around you that you think are friends but are really enemies. Okay. With that being said, I was taught at the age of 6 by my stepfather to never trust white folk. Now, some people would say that's racist. That's what a white person told me one time. They were like, oh, your stepfather told you that. That's racist. That's not racist. That's called precaution. Okay. Because of the history of white folk. Okay, we can't just be trusting them all willy-nilly. Like I said in my song, okay, some of y'all be trusting too fast, and that's what you can't do. Okay, that's what you can't do. Now, at the end of the day, like I said, this has happened one too many times. And here's the thing. I was watching this guy. He was an immigrant. I want to say he was Haitian. I can't recall, but I saw him on someone's channel and he was talking about racism and how African Americans, how we perceive racism. And so his whole argument was based upon the fact that he said we talk about racism so much, that's why we always notice it. He said, our parents told us about racism, their parents told them about racism, and then we tell our kids about racism. So that's why we stay in a cycle of racism. Now, he sounded so stupid. I almost had to ask myself, is he serious or is he trolling? Because you mean to tell me that this man who's of my own skin tone, even though he's not of my lineage, but nonetheless, you mean to tell me that this clown thinks that we experience racism because we speak about it, because we talk about it? You do see how stupid that is? We should be talking about it. As long as it exists, we need to call it out whenever we see it and have to encounter it and deal with it. Okay, I'm not going to make people comfortable so they can just sit there and be racist and think we're just going to bow our heads and be quiet. No, we're going to call it out. What's he talking about? So he seems to think that you shouldn't tell your children and you shouldn't pass it down about racism. So he's living in a fairy tale because whether you talk about it or not, it's still here. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Okay. But yeah, so he said, oh, my father did this and my father got a job and he became that. And he never talked about racism or how his father was treated. And I never talked about, who cares? That's you if you want to be a fool, because that's what you sound like. Okay. When you don't want to address the issues that are right here in your face. I find it all so interesting. But anyway, like I said, and prayers for Nolan. Let's go to some of these TikToks and see what people said. Then we're going to get into these Asians talking about we're supposed to be destroying their businesses. I don't know where they got that lie from. Clearly out of the thin air, because we never said such.
They found Nolan Wells, his body, y'all. This is an update. By looking at the picture, you could pretty much fill in the blanks, but let me catch y'all up on this story. Wells was last seen during the afternoon of Saturday, July 4th, as he was celebrating the holiday with friends on the Mississippi Coast Barrier Island. He went missing. According to his friends, they didn't give really specific details. They just say he got separated, was talking to a group of girls or something like that. His mother also added that, his phone wasn't located on him, so they couldn't use the phone to locate him. So some strange reason, a young adult, an 18-year-old, was separated from his phone. But a park ranger reportedly found Wells' body at the northwest end of Horn Island around 8:45 a.m. Monday. And Horn Island is not like a commercial island. You need a private boat to get there. But his mom did confirm that was her son's body. His mother, Christine, confirmed her son's death on Facebook Monday afternoon, writing, "I want to thank our family."
Here's my question. Now, if you can only get to that island on a private boat, who took him there? And who is this group of girls that they claimed that he was talking to? Okay, where did they come from? How did they get there? And who were they with? Okay, I find this all very interesting. Sounds like something they made up.
Family, friends, community, United Cajun Navy, local law enforcement, and everyone involved for all the love, support, resources over the last few days.
I'm going to fast forward because we've already heard this.
I ask that you please give me and
sad state of affairs. Sad state of affairs. Let me tell y'all something. My sons were never allowed to go anywhere with a whole bunch of white folk and them being the only black person. Not that they ever asked, but had they, the answer would have been no. Now, my younger son went somewhere with his friend when his friend came home from college to visit. Okay, now we'd known Christian since he was probably in middle school, but nonetheless, I asked him, who all's going? And it was just him and Christian, so that was fine. But honey, you, Christian, and a whole bunch of other folks, not going to happen. Okay? Because even if one person's cool, the chances of one of them being a whole wanton supremacist is very high. Go ahead, please pay attention.
His body. They found Nolan's body, right? And they also stated that he was found along the Mississippi Gulf Coast, right? This is the same shit that happens all the time, which is crazy as fuck, y'all. They say the friend also had his phone, brought the family back his phone. How the fuck you got the man's phone and y'all don't know what happened to him? That makes no sense, bro. And then the friends are relatives with the judge. It's just so many different things that's always coinciding. It's never a fucking coincidence. Don't ever in your life think this shit is a coincidence. All of this shit is happening for a reason, And they want that rage from us, like I said to y'all before, bro. They act like they so fucking clueless. But when everybody gets up and say fuck the police and say fuck the FBI and fuck all y'all, we handling our shit on our own, y'all gonna be mad as fuck, bro. They're willing to arrest you for solving shit that they're getting paid to do. How many fucking times have people been lynched? Or people been going outside with their fucking friends and not being found ever again? How many times is it going to keep on happening? Now you have a teenager whose life is gone. These 3 white little boys went home to their fucking families. and then brought back just his phone, nobody, no story on what happened to these people's son, and he was found in a. Y'all told me they ain't dumped this little boy over the fucking man, and y'all seen the woman who literally was rowing with her family, right? And then they had literally stopped them and got the little boy when he was finna get left in the fucking water with his friends. So this shit happens over and over again, bro.
Yeah, it really does. Now, how did they get that phone but don't know where he is? So you mean to tell me he went off with a bunch of girls and then they didn't even give conclusive information. They basically said they think that he went off with a bunch of girls. Y'all don't know. Y'all didn't see him. When did you lose sight of him? Okay, and why do you have his phone? This is all reeking of suspicion. But let's continue. This is all so sad.
Well, here we are again, folks. And you know what I always say, those that do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Y'all remember what happened with this lady up here? This is Tamia Horsford, a 40-year-old mother in Forsyth, Georgia. She went to a sleepover with some football moms in 2018. And the next day, she was found dead, face down in the backyard of the very place where they were having the sleepover. And nobody know nothing about what happened. And to this day, there has not been justice in this case. And those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. This young man right here is Nolan Wells, who unfortunately was found deceased. Just a little while ago, he went out to Horn Island in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, with these guys right here for a July the 4th excursion, and he didn't make it home. These guys brought his phone back to his mother and father, but they did not bring him back. So I say to you once again, because I just made this same video a few weeks ago when the Carmelo Anthony trial was going on, stop putting your kids in these situations where they are in danger. I know you feel like you're doing what's best for them. I know you feel like sending them to the white schools and putting them in these white neighborhoods and white enclaves and having all white friends. I know you feel like you're doing what is best for them, but you are putting your beautiful black babies in danger.
And that's just a fact. That is an absolute fact. Anyway, so sad. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance. Now let's go to Miss Betty Boop. I swear this lady reminds me of Betty Boop.
Well, and this is why I hate breaking news. About an hour ago, authorities came out to say that the body that was found off of Horn Island was not the body of Nolan Xavier Wells. Now they have retracted that statement. It may possibly be Nolan. It looks like it is. From what I'm hearing on Facebook from his family, it is Nolan. And also the coroner's office. Just moments ago, the coroner's office said that DNA testing will officially confirm the identity, but that there's no reason not to believe that it's not him. They are now saying that they believe the body that was found off of Horn Island is the body of Nolan Wells. What happened to Nolan? What happened to Nolan? I will keep you updated with any information that I can get.
They all really know what happened to him. They all know that those boys did something to him. This was probably the plot from day one. Okay, this was probably the plot from day one. Anyway, prayers and condolences to his family, friends, and loved ones, like I said. Now, let's get into it because the Asians said that black folk are out here talking about burning down their businesses. Now, I don't know where they got this idea from because I have not seen one single video of anyone saying any such thing. Okay, let's get into it. Because the lies they tell on black people, honey, I mean, they just can't leave us alone. Why are we the world's most hated? Please pay attention.
You know, the reason why Asian people are so upset about this whole Asian boycott is just because we're being, singled out, you know what I mean? Always getting singled out, like, it's not the first time, right, for us, you know what I mean? And we would have thought, like, of all people, black people would have understand. And it's messed up, this whole situation, like, little, like, white people, like, race against black people for generations, and now black people are race against Asians. I mean, it's kind of ironic, don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding.
Then he gonna try to make a joke at the end. Let me tell you something, sir. First of all, I don't like this narrative that they're painting. Okay, that's what I don't like. I don't like the narrative that they're painting, talking about now we're racist against Asians. Nobody's racist against them, and they need to quit saying that dumb stuff because it's just pissing me off. And here's the thing: if we were racist against them, why in the hell do they want us in their businesses? Okay, make that make sense. Why do they want us in their businesses? Okay. They know darn well it's not about racism. They're just mad because we're not spending money with them. We don't have to. Okay, we don't have to. I don't know who these people think they are, but they're going to find out. Okay, the hard way, like they're doing right now. And then talking about it seems like they're being singled out. Ha! Isn't it interesting? Because when black people go in their stores, aren't we singled out? Do they follow any other group of people around besides us? As a matter of fact, we're usually the only ones in the stores, but they follow us around anyway. Okay? I find it all so interesting, but let's keep going. Talking about singled out. Well, listen to this one right here. I mean, it's the audacity of it all for me. Yeah, they're mad. They're going to stay mad too. Because ain't shit going to change.
Get your fucking head out of your ass for 1 second, okay? All Asian people could agree with me on this one. Is that you are upset with one Asian person and the rest of the one that looks like him get punished for it. That's the questions that we're asking. It's not because, oh my God, we're losing a business that you're not going to stop with us. No. The question is, why do you punish people that look like Chow? That's it.
Now, she said it's not about us not shopping at their businesses, but they want to know why they're being singled out because they look like him. First of all, y'all are not being singled out. This is what y'all earned. Y'all asked for this and now you're getting it. And it's not about one incident. They really need to stop trying to paint that narrative. Okay, they really need to stop it. Here's the thing. You know how they want to say, oh, Chow is Chinese, I'm Korean, or I'm Vietnamese. It does not matter because here's the fact of the matter. Asians collectively, I'm not saying all Asians, but Asians collectively as a whole, they have been racist and rude and disrespectful to Black people. That's a fact. Chow is Chinese, yes. But the woman who killed Latasha Harlins was Korean. That's what she was. The ones that beat up Black women in beauty salon or nail salons are Vietnamese. You see what I'm talking about here? It's not just one group of Asians. It's collectively Asians, whether they're Korean, whether they're Chinese, okay, or whether they're Vietnamese. That's how it goes. So I'm sorry, what the hell is she talking about? What the hell is she talking about? I have several questions, but let's continue. Well, I tell you, these people are something else.
She is apparently spreading lies that, since we said we boycotting their businesses, that we said we're going to loot and burn down their stores. And I just want to go ahead and get ahead of this lie. You're not going to find no video where we said no shit like that. Just you doing all that because we don't want to give you our money. The only reason they are spreading these lies and these rumors is because they are about to damage and burn their own stores so that they can file an insurance claim, and then they're going to turn around and blame us. Because, they ain't going to just sit there and let their company go out of business and file for bankruptcy and blah, blah, blah. They want to get a payout. They want an insurance payout. So they already just spreading this lie around so they can go ahead and damage and burn their own stores and then commit insurance fraud. And
here's the thing. The ones that are saying this, that these things have happened to them and blaming the Black community, where's the footage? Where's the footage? Don't most businesses, if not all, usually have cameras inside and out, but nobody has footage? That's because they're lying. Y'all are doing this to your own darn business to get insurance payouts, just like she said. Okay, because you're going broke.
We have not said that at all. We have no intentions on doing that. I've even seen a video of one of them posted with a brick down there on the ground and nothing else looked touched in the restaurant. You did that shit yourself. They're already getting started. And so the insurance company better do their due diligence and investigation and lock their fucking asses up. Because we ain't said a damn thing about that. Quit lying. And that's even a furthermore reason why we shouldn't take our ass in your business ever again.
That's right. Lord knows I love my people, but oh my goodness.
Ain't no black people do that. Black people did not do this.
Oh, the Asian community.
Okay, and any black person that believes that is a whole idiot, okay? That's not what we're doing. See, here's the thing. They're upset because we're not spending money with them. But likewise, the white tea MAGA type people are upset because they wanted us to take to the streets out of anger and rage over the Rick Chow verdict and start looting. Okay, that's what they wanted to do. Start looting businesses and destroying property and setting things on fire. But I want you all to pay attention because usually when there is some sort of boycott or there's some sort of protest that we're involved in, the people that are doing the looting, for the most part, it's not even us. Okay, it's not even us. It's provocateurs that are brought in by the busloads. Okay, remember that time during the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery protesting, how there were stacks of bricks that they say the police put out there? Do y'all remember that? And there was one man walking around hitting the windows and busting them out with a hammer. And then the wife, the estranged wife, came out and said that was her husband, who was a police officer. Do you all remember that? See how they love to try to paint us as being so nefarious? Now, meanwhile, there was footage of a white woman, a whole Karen, coming out of a retail store. Actually, she was in the retail store for a few minutes, filling up a trash bag with stolen items. Y'all remember that? And then as she sat there stealing, the news reporter said, "Oh, maybe she works there." Ha! So she works there, but she's there in the dark of night, putting things into a huge trash bag. Ma'am, make it all make sense. You see how they make excuses for their people when they're out here looting and all of that stuff? Okay, just like Hurricane Katrina when they said the black folks were looting. And then what did George Bush say? Shoot them. Okay. If they start looting, we start shooting or something like that. Remember that? And Kanye said he doesn't care about black people. Clearly he didn't. Clearly he didn't. But when the white people were out there looting, what did they say? Oh, survivors going to look for supplies. That's what they said. These are the things that they do and say. Okay, so when these people are talking about somebody singling them out, honey, we have always been singled out. Okay, and we're not singling you out. You're getting just what you asked for. All right.
Real. They didn't knock out the windows to all these Asian-owned companies in the plaza where I work. Just take a look at this shit. They've knocked out the windows to all of these places. You see that? Come on down. Come on down. Knocked out the windows here. See that? They didn't mess with the black barbershop, thank God. But you have to be careful the shit you say about the black community.
I got a question for you. Do you think that this was truly vandalism, or could this be an insurance claim? Because I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
Insurance claim. No black people did that. Please. Okay, we're not even that concerned. Here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention. Now, first of all, they're trying to paint the narrative as if we're so hostile and angry. We're not even mad anymore. We were upset about the Rick Chow verdict. Yes, of course. We wanted justice and we didn't get it. So yes, we were upset. But we voiced our frustration through the banning of them. Since they can't speak out for us and they don't mind these injustices that continue to happen to our community via theirs, well, we just decided we're going to hold our money. So we don't have to do any of this other stuff. Why would we risk vandalizing their businesses only to get caught and go to jail? You mean to tell me out of that whole strip mall where those businesses were vandalized with broken windows and all of that, there's not one camera that had video footage? There's not one camera. Yeah, somebody lying. Okay, they did that themselves and they cut off the cameras. Okay, I'm not falling for the BS, and neither should any of you. Okay, because that's exactly what happened. No black person did that. They did that themselves in a desperate attempt to get a last insurance claim. All right, and that's just what I believe wholeheartedly.
So apparently, it's being said that us, the Black community, the collective, is planning on burning down their businesses. Let me get this really straight and clear through people's thick skulls, okay? One, we have not threatened to burn down anything. We simply said we will not be giving you our dollars. It's called group economics. We are not even calling a boycott anymore. It is simply spending our money with our own, directing our dollars in our own communities. And we have every right to do that, just like you do. We are not burning down anything. We are not giving you a insurance payout because that's all it's going to do. No, we're not doing that. We're simply not coming in there any longer. All Black people need to be making posts on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and every other platform that you possibly can to push this out and get the word out. We need to get off that individualism, that want to shine on and stunt on each other, and shine together as a collective. The collective is more important.
She's absolutely right. Okay. See, that's what's wrong with some Black people. Sadly, they only worry about themselves. They don't worry about us collectively. Okay. That's what they don't do. Laverne said, mad because Black people are protecting themselves. Stop killing us then. Exactly. Leave us the hell alone and mind your own damn business. You won't have these problems.
The Asian market is closing down and everything is 40% off. Oh no! They already throwing stuff away. Oh God, they are going out of business. 40% off. I've never been here, but I'm so sad they're closing. So they have the Korean ice cups and some ice cream left. They have even more over here. I feel like you guys are losing a hidden gem. What is 40% off $5? The green tea Kit Kat. Ooh, for 40% off, baby. Oh, I've been wanting to try this flavor. Stop playing with me. This Pocky is like 90 cents. I'm like really sad because this store is so cute. This is all their different ramen. I love tteokbokki. They got my favorite tea, 40%.
Going out of business, as you can see. Going out of business. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. It was one man sitting on there just telling a sad sob story. I mean, I literally heard the world's smallest violin being played as he spoke. Okay, just telling a sad story about how he couldn't, borrow any more money from his mother. I'm sorry, are we supposed to care?
No, Black people, we are boycotting Asian businesses. Justice for Cyrus. I am walking in Beauty Town in Wardolph, the beauty supply store, to let them know we are boycotting. Okay?
I'm gonna fast forward.
Nothing for our communities. Nothing at all. Nothing. But y'all can do what y'all want to do. But I'm just letting y'all know. We're spending our dollars elsewhere. Black businesses. They don't value our money at all. I appreciate that. To all my followers, viewers, supporters, if you like what I'm doing and you're with the movement, please donate to my Cash App and support the cause. $FOXI 22. That's Cash App again. FOXI 22. Thank you so much.
Girl, sit down somewhere. What are we giving you cash apps for? Okay, I have several questions. Now, with that all being said, I mean, it looks like it's going pretty good. We have a few people that are backpedaling and going back, but not many, not enough to keep them in business.
Fucking called it. I told you so. I called that shit weeks ago. I told you that Asian motherfuckers were going to start destroying their businesses and blaming the black community. And
he definitely said that a few weeks ago, okay? He was ahead of the curve. He knew what they were going to be up to.
now it's happened. I've just seen a couple videos that are making their rounds of storefronts with the windows and stuff being broken out of, and clearly they're blaming the black community. And these are all happening in different states across the country, but they all have one thing in common. They have no recordings of the incidents whatsoever. In this technological age, not one of those establishments had any video whatsoever of their place being vandalized. Funny, isn't it? Nobody wants to believe that Asians would do this and go this route. Just like nobody wanted to believe that that Asian dude would burn a fucking cross. But he did. I didn't hear any backlash on that for real. We don't need to torch and burn businesses and vandalize businesses because pulling our money out and watching you fail is way more fucking satisfying.
It sure is. Honey.
Nice try, though. What else you got? Bruh,
okay, he said, nice try, though. What else you got? Okay, y'all got to do better than this? All right, are y'all serious? Honey, we don't need to waste time going out there busting out windows and doing foolishness. All we have to do is take our resources. Okay, that's good enough. You're going out of business. What more do we need? I think our job is pretty much working just fine. Now listen to Karen here talking about what are we doing?
What did we do? I just got off work really, really late. I was gonna get...
Hold on, I'm trying to rewind this.
What's happening? What did we do? I just got off work really, really late. I was gonna get Chinese food. All the restaurants of Chinese food are closed. What did we do? What's happening?
She said, what did we do? You didn't do anything, Karen. Okay, but we sure did. The Chinese restaurants are closed until further notice. All right, pay attention. And she's serious talking about what did we do? Girl, you didn't do anything, but we sure did. Now, listen to this. Police raid and close Chinese restaurant over mystery booze. Have you all heard about this? Did y'all hear about this? Hold on, I think this has music playing, so I'm not going to play that. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. I'm pulling this up elsewhere. Over mystery booze. What they have going on here? Okay, so here's what it says. Hold on, let me get rid of that. So it says authorities recently raided and temporarily closed a Chinese restaurant over the illegal sale and storage of unlabeled mystery booze. You wonder what they were serving people. Okay, unlabeled. Now, the seizure included large quantities of traditional Chinese spirits, such as baijiu. I know I'm saying that wrong. Anyway, without visible manufacturing dates, expiry dates, or consumer information labels. So there was no labels on this stuff. You don't know when it expired. It says the raid and closure were driven by the following circumstances. Number one, unregulated liquor. Large quantities of unlabeled or improperly labeled liquor were discovered during the inspection. Okay, then there was translation and safety concerns because they say many of the seized bottles featured labels written entirely in Mandarin, which violated local consumer protection laws by making it impossible for average patrons or inspectors to determine the contents of the origin or the shelf life of the alcohol. They could have been feeding those people anything, ammonia, who knows? Business closure. Now, inspectors ordered the immediate suspension of all operations, preventing the venue from selling or serving any food or drinks until the investigation concludes. Okay, now, employee detention. They say managers and several staff members were escorted off the premises by local police and immigration authorities for questioning regarding the origins of the alcohol and the employment status. Honey, sounds like y'all got enough problems that y'all need to just leave us the hell alone. Okay, out here trying to paint narratives and all that. This is something else. Something else. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Here comes the man with the sob story. Y'all listen to this. Honey, I wouldn't even have gotten on here and said any of it. Okay? Truth Brown said they don't even eat there. Okay, and let me just tell you all something. I'm glad you brought that up. So listen, I know I've told you all this before, but so some years ago, one of my uncles who married my aunt, basically told us this was probably in maybe 2015. But anyway, he told us that we need to stop eating Chinese food. Now, the reason he said that is because he was talking about how he worked for some company once, and that company basically, he said that the people that own those restaurants would come there and they would buy something known as beef pizzle, and they would buy it by the crates. Okay, they would buy huge crates of it. And they would cook this in the ham fried rice, the sesame chicken, the sweet and sour chicken. If you notice, the chicken in those meals doesn't have the same texture as chicken. Please pay attention. And so, anyway, he said what that actually is, beef pizzle, is, how can I put this nicely? Cow cucumber. Okay? Y'all catch that? It's a cow's cucumber or eggplants. It's called beef pizzle. So that's what they're putting in there. And so my aunt was so flabbergasted that she called one of the local Chinese restaurants and asked them if they sold beef pizzle, to which they denied it, said, oh, no, we don't sell that. First, they tried to act like they didn't know what she was talking about. She was very adamant. And then they said, no, they didn't sell it. But then she called another one and they said, well, we eat it, but we don't sell to customers. Sure you don't. Okay, sure you don't. I just want y'all to pay attention. Okay.
Thank you for those of you who ordered curry tonight. We've never been open late like this before, and I've been on my own fulfilling orders, and I'm really grateful for them. I'm going to keep this as short and sweet as possible. I had a discussion with my investor. Her name is Mom. And an hour ago, it was very apparent that I won't have any more money borrowing capability starting next week. I just borrowed another $4,500 to make payroll, and payroll has been sent. But if we don't somehow make at least $14,000 to $16,000 over the next 2 days, I will not have enough money to pay rent.
Serious?
And I will. It's not enough. I have tax payments coming up.
Sir, please go ahead and spill the damn tea. Okay, why is he taking so long to tell this little sad story that nobody cares? Sitting there looking for Lauren and all of that, sir. Do like we do when times are hard and the debts are high and we want to smile, but we have to sigh. And Kara's pressing us down a bit. Okay, sometimes we rest, but we don't quit. That's what you need to do, sir. You need not to quit. You need to pull yourself up by your mother-sucking bootstraps, okay, and get with it. That's what you need to do. Stop being lazy, okay? Isn't that what they tell us? Stop being lazy and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Stop playing the victim, all right? Talk about mom. You're too grown of a man to be sitting there borrowing money from your mother, sir.
I have to make payroll next week organically, which will be the priority. And we will not be making enough this week to pay all of our bills next week while not being able to get additional funding to supplement the shortfall.
Sir.
I think this is going to be the last weekend that we provide sushi service.
I hate to hear it.
I don't know what to do next week without an investor. So I'm very sorry to make this announcement. I'm really proud of the food that we provide. And I hope you can try it this weekend.
Now, this is the experience that a lot of restaurant owners are experiencing right now across the United States. And this guy actually vlogged his entire experience as being a restaurant owner, guys. I mean, he's got lots of views. I think he's actually still open at this point. So I'm a little bit confused about this video, but ultimately, you know, this is his experience. He got an investor, and basically the investor said, hey, we can't keep funding. We can't keep sending money and borrowing money and all. Like, we've hit a wall when
it's 2 a.m.
Did he really get on here trying to sound forlorn? Okay, I mean, what does he want us to send donations? Like, really, what's going on? So listen, I'm going to this video. I like this dude. His name is Mr. Ta or Mr. TA. He's African, and I absolutely love it because he's reporting on this stuff about the Asians. He reported on some other stuff, and he was going in on them about African Americans. Now, Asians are successfully boycotted, and they're threatening Black Americans with this. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm gonna. Robert said, sounds like he lost his dog. Okay, sit there and tell him that sob story, sir. Nobody's gonna be crying but you. Okay, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and keep it pushing. You got to push through. Okay, sometimes you got to push through. That's what you got to do.
Oh, to the Asian hate bill to force Black people to shop at their establishments. But I thought y'all don't need us. I mean, y'all dared us to not shop with y'all, not knowing that Truth or Dare was one of our favorite games back in the day. But y'all dared us to do that. And when we took y'all up on that dare and said, oh, bet y'all want to go down to Washington, D.C. and try to get a 2.0 to the Asian hate to force people, Black people, to shop in your establishments. How does that work? Like, so y'all gonna make sure, like, hold our hands and make us.
They're gonna get Trump to do it.
So yeah, word on the street is that the large Asian beauty supply chains, they gonna start blocking a lot of us indigenous individuals from owning our own business, you know, by not selling us the supplies that we need. But that's cool. That's all right. I mean, there's other supply chains, and we can make our own product. And when it comes down to the hair and all that, listen.
The Asian community is making a mistake trying to block Black businesses, and it's going to cost them a lot. This move was taken straight out of Donald Trump's playbook, and it's a terrible one. Stick with me, y'all, because if the Asian suppliers won't sell, they will suffer the same fate as the U.S. soybean farmers. Let's talk about it. In 2017, the United States slapped tariffs on Chinese imports as a result of the trade war. China at the time was the world's largest consumer of soybeans, buying roughly 60% of all U.S. soybeans. But in July 2018, China placed a 25% retaliatory tariff on U.S. soybeans, making U.S. soybeans the most expensive soybeans to buy in China. So the Chinese didn't buy from the U.S. farmers, and the U.S. farmers had to find other buyers like Mexico, Egypt, and the EU. But they had to sell it at a discount as low as 24% off, and the U.S. government had to bail out the soybean farmers, giving them $23 billion. But long term, this cooked the U.S. farmers because China stopped buying from them. They bought from Brazil instead. So you see, deals were made, and China may never rely on the U.S. soybean market like they did in the past. In this case, the Asian community is the U.S., and in a weird way, the Black community in this situation, we're China. See, we've got money, so you don't have to supply us the stuff, but as businesses go and find suppliers who will, just know they're never coming back. And you see, this was always the goal. You guys are just speeding up the timeline. And once again, this isn't about race. This is about economics. Most Blacks don't have hate against any race. We just know you don't like us, and we don't want to spend money where we're not liked. That goes for all races and people who don't like us. So this isn't personal. This is business. I'm out.
So let me get this straight. And I hope I'm wrong, but I'm probably not. So the Asians now are trying to add an amendment to the Asian hate bill. So Asian hate bill 2.0, that it's a hate crime if Black folks don't shop at their businesses. Wow. You got to be kidding me, dude. You got to be kidding me. The question is, for any Asian out there who's man or woman enough to answer, how many times do you shop at a Black business? Just a thought. How many Black friends do you have? How many Black people actually really do you truly know? The question. 2.0, because we won't shop at your stores. You got to be kidding me, right?
That's the thing. Why don't they shop at their own stores? Why don't the Koreans support the Chinese and the Chinese support the Vietnamese and so on and so forth? Okay, because I've never seen any Asians in any Asian business except for the ones that work there. Okay, and that's just the facts. Now I'm going to fast forward. Here he comes. He's probably going to tell a sad story. Hold on.
This is a portable mini air conditioner that you can carry with you, providing cool air just like a full-size air conditioner.
Yes, we've been making a way out of no way since we got here. That's all we know how to do.
Right now, the Black community online is talking about how they're going to boycott Asian businesses and how much they don't like Asians.
You see how quickly the devil showed up? Do you see how quickly the devil showed up? Let's get this straight. This is not about Asian hate at all. Black people saying that they're going to shop at other Black businesses, to them, translates to oppression. Black people.
And I want you all to pay attention to something. Where is Brad? Okay, where's his dog in the fight? Why is he even speaking on this? See how they hop in? Okay, these MAGA types, they want to hop into the discussion that has absolutely nothing to do with them, but they're so obsessed and preoccupied with Black folk. They don't want to get in there and start lying and changing the narrative. Oh, and talk about how much they hate Asians. Nobody said that. Okay, lying piece of you know what? Well, let's continue.
Helping other Black people, to them, translates to oppression. In their mind, this translates to hate towards them. Black people ain't say they hate Asian people. Y'all can care less about a Black child being ran down 130 yards and catching a bullet in his back. Even when that person that shot him showed that they are already trigger happy. But y'all have all the outrage in the world the moment that Black people say, hey, you know what? We're just going to shop at other Black businesses. You don't have to tell other races of people not to shop at their own people's businesses because they make it a point to shop at their people's businesses. Asian people shop historically at Asian-owned business. Indian people at Indian-owned business. Jewish people shop at Jewish businesses. Hispanic people shop at Hispanic-owned businesses. Majority of the businesses is white American, and white Americans shop at those businesses. But guess the one community that is told not to shop at their own people's businesses? Guess the one community that is told that if you shop at your people's businesses, it's not going to do anything for the Black community. You guys don't need community. Community is not that important.
Black people are told that. That's weird. So Black people saying that they're going to shop at Black-owned businesses should not trigger anybody because it is not hate for Asian people. It is support of Black people. And on top of that, we're not saying that you cannot shop at Black-owned businesses. You're welcome to shop there too. But you should ask yourself why advocacy for Black people triggered you so much.
My good Asian siblings, I'm tired that the white man's tactics keep working on us. They always treat us like the perpetual foreigner.
We can sit down somewhere. I've heard this before. You all have too. And the bottom line is now he wants to talk like he has some sense because it's all going bad.
Each other that is not actually grounded in how historically we have engaged with each other. And I'm seeing it be used by some Asian Americans on here as a way to center ourselves in this moment of reckoning with how the legal system really does not value Black life. Like, this is not about us, except for how we can take responsibility for each other in our communities around anti-Blackness. On top of that, I noticed another response that we see all the time that is maybe not so loud, but just as insidious, and that is indifference, is disassociation, disengagement from racial politics altogether. Indifference is not neutral. Indifference is violent. Disassociating from racial politics and what's going on in this country will not.
To add, I just want to be another point from which we can speak out against anti-Blackness within our community. The fact that these two events happened 35 years apart from each other makes me question if we as Asian Americans have even made any progress as allies. I've seen so many other comments from other videos regarding this issue from Black people saying that they feel like they don't have any allies anywhere. And you know what? If we as Asian Americans stand complacent while their children are being chased and shot in the back, we don't deserve to call ourselves allies.
Okay, well, here's some just varying perspectives and nuance in this. On one end, it is unfortunate that there's a good chunk of Black people out there who feel like they have no allies, who feel like we're constantly being attacked, constantly feel like they're under scrutiny, right? The problem is when we look at who's perpetrating some of the most heinous things in our country, when we look at how some of the worst people in the society act, when we look at all the rules that are being changed, again, at like theme parks, water parks, movie theaters, restaurants, malls, the streets, curfews, they're all for a certain subset of people. When we look at who produces the most majority of the murders and robberies, we're looking at people of this skin tone. When we think about people who, if we're taking another layer, when we think about the hood, when we think about the beauty supplies, the corner stores, the nail salons, the alcohol stores, liquor stores, they're all typically ran by Asians. And it's these Asians, it's these store owners who are having to deal with the nuisance of being around and serving majority Black patrons because of how they act. In the beginning of this video, in some cases, it is unfortunate, and I hate the fact that even I myself get profiled and I get judged as based off the color of my skin and how I look. But on the other side of it, removing my ego, I can calmly sit down and look at the data and understand why somebody may look at me a certain way. I can see the frustration some people have, even within the Black community, that are like, okay, why are y'all this loud about, oh my gosh, Rick Child getting away with shooting a little Black boy in the back of in his back? But we're doing that. This just happened in Nashville 2 days ago. And a Black boy got shot dead center in the head. Like, as a people, we're doing this to each other nonstop. So why this loud over the...
Okay, now he sounds obtuse and he's taking on the white supremacist talking points. So let me just say this. First of all, sir, you sound idiotic, and you are, okay, to even suggest the propagandist term of Black on Black crime. All people commit crimes amongst their own. That's just a fact. Now, if he wants to bring up Black on Black crime, why isn't he bringing up anyone else? And also, he's justifying people racially profiling him. He said that even people get frustrated or whatever, and then these agents have to be in the hood and deal with the nuisances. No, they don't. They don't have to be there, sir. And if they felt uncomfortable, they wouldn't have been there for decades. So we don't make them feel uncomfortable. It is them who makes us feel uncomfortable when we walk in their stores and they want to follow us around and all of that, and act as though we stole something when we didn't. Okay? There's that. Now, he's sitting here acting as though it's okay, and he understands because of the data. that this is why people look at him crazy sometimes? Because there's a few ignorant Negroes. Here's the thing. There's ignorance among all groups, but they don't racially profile them. Okay, there's white people that go in stores and steal. There's white people that commit robberies and all kinds of things. In fact, I went to school with some well-to-do young white boys who came from good families who had money, and they were going around robbing convenience stores. They were called the mini market bandits. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. So at the end of the day, and then there were 7 white girls a few years ago who were doing the same thing. They were in high school and came from pretty well-off families, but they were doing the same thing, and they only got like 7 years after they robbed numerous stores. Had that been black teenagers, honey, they'd have gotten 30 to 40 years, I guarantee you. So with that all being said, he needs to sit down somewhere and learn some real history and get his mind together, because it seems to be cluttered with racist rhetoric and wanton supremacist talking points. Okay, he sounds so ridiculous, but let's let him cook.
Asians, but not our own people. That's the frustrating part. That's the sad part. Now, I'm glad a homeboy's speaking out. I'm glad as an Asian, he's speaking up and saying, hey, like, we need to come to some agreement. We need to chill out. Because I be doing the same. I'm like PR damage control for the blacks and the gays because, hello, I am black and gay, and I hate how I'm viewed in society.
You're not no damn PR control for me. You need to sit your ass down somewhere, sir. Okay, that's what you need to do. And I can tell that you're gay before you're black, and that's a problem for me. Because if you're gay and black, then you're black first. Okay, so let's get that straight. All right? Because he sounds real crazy.
Black Americans, indigenous Americans, God's chosen people, the most resilient community in America's history. I want to let you know that what you're doing is right. Supporting your own community, that is right. Choosing where your money goes, that is right. You are doing nothing wrong. Don't be afraid of anybody trying to talk you out of this. Don't be afraid of whoever tells you to stop. Whoever tells you that it won't work. From what I'm seeing, is already working.
That's right.
So keep going. These Asians dared Black Americans to boycott. They said, go ahead and see what happens. Black Americans acted. And now suddenly it is a problem. Now they want to call it something ugly. Now they want to make it out to be hatred. Are Black Americans the only people not buying from them? Are white Americans buying from them? Are Native Americans buying from them? If the answer is no, if plenty of people already choose not to spend their money in their businesses, then where was the outrage before? Nobody called that discrimination. It was simply customers making a choice. So why does it change when Black Americans make the same choice? Why do all Asians feel entitled to Black Americans' money? Where did that entitlement come from? I've never seen Black Americans demanding y'all to buy from them. There is no expectation, no requirement, no rule says that Black Americans' money belongs to Asians. So that entitlement runs one direction, and it always has. So this is a pattern. And it is worth naming plainly. Everybody wants Black Americans' dollar. Everybody wants Black Americans' culture, Black Americans' loyalty as a customer. But when it's time to return the support, to help Black Americans, to invest back, to show up for Black-owned businesses, Black neighborhoods, Black communities, where is everybody then? Nowhere to be found. That is a pattern. See it for what it is. So keep taking every measure that keeps your community informed. Keep talking to each other about where your money goes. Keep making sure that your dollar remains within your community. That is how your brothers and sisters will be able to build the wealth. That is how it has always been built everywhere. For everybody who has ever been allowed to build it, don't apologize for it. A boycott is not hatred. Choosing yourself is not hatred. Spending your money where you decided to spend it has never been anybody's business but your own, until it is Black Americans doing the choosing. If a community wants support from your people, I'm talking to all Black Americans. Let them earn it. That is not too much to ask. That is not radical. That is just what every community deserves from the businesses inside it. That is exactly what every community deserves. So keep buying Black, keep buying with intention, keep asking where the dollar goes, and keep sending it home. That's it. That is the whole thing. Don't be afraid. You are doing nothing wrong. And that was it for today. If you find this video interesting, click on that like button.
For TA, your African brother. All right, y'all follow him. He has good commentary. Now, with that all being said, No lies detected. Okay, I find it all so interesting. Okay, they sit up here telling all kind of sob stories, then lying on us, talking about destroying their businesses. Then they're gonna show some broken windows. What the hell's a broken window gonna do for number one? How's that gonna make somebody feel better? Okay, and then that last dude that was up there talking, that's him right there. That's all he's doing. Okay, please pay attention. All right, please pay attention. So anyway, listen, I would just like to say, a job well done because yeah, it's really hitting them hard. Their businesses are closing and everything. Now, I want you all to see this because this is a video of Tom Hanks that I saw yesterday. And do you all know that Tom Hanks was very upset because he claims that he never heard anything about Black Wall Street? Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. This man said he'd never heard anything about Black Wall Street. Okay, and there's plenty of other people that haven't as well. There is plenty of other people that don't know about the low down nefarious things that have happened to Black people in this country at the hands of the wanton supremacists.
Times piece on a 100-year-old survivor of the Tulsa massacre. And my question was this: what's the Tulsa massacre? You know, I was taught American history every 3 years growing up. 5th grade, 8th grade, what comes after 11th grade, and then I studied in junior college, and I've read it ever since for pleasure. How is it that it wasn't until 2 years ago that I heard about the Tulsa massacre? How is that possible? I've heard about Custer's the Little Bighorn. I heard about the Alamo. You know, I heard about the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire. You know, I heard about all kinds of disasters in which people died. But I had never heard about this thing that happened in 1921, only 3 years before my dad was born. In the same year that Donna Reed was born, we didn't hear about this thing that happened in which essentially one of the most successful Black communities in America, Black Wall Street, in which everybody was not only burned out of their homes and their businesses, but then driven out of the city limits by an angry mob of, I'm sorry, white people. How is it that this was not taught to me? Because I tell you, at the age of 10, when I was in 5th grade, living in Oakland, California, that would have been a moment of enlightenment for me. That would have told me something very, very different about the city I lived in, not just American history or the city of Tulsa. And it made me mad. It made me mad that somebody had somehow made an editorial process of what was appropriate for us to learn about our own American history. It made me angry that it took until I was I'm 60. I'll be 66 just about 2 weeks after Juneteenth. I'll turn 66, and it took me 64. It took me 54 years in order to find this out. It's not right. It's not right.
I don't know why y'all are sitting here saying the man is lying. Why would he lie about that? What is the point? What is he going to achieve by telling that random lie? The man didn't know about it, quite frankly, and just because you all do, y'all should really pay attention that the fact of the matter is a lot of people don't know about these things. A lot of people don't know that there was a race right here in Atlanta. They don't know that there was one in Detroit, Chicago, Kentucky, Detroit, Florida, that they were all over this country is what I'm saying. There is people who don't know these things because these things have been hidden. Be grateful and glad that you know it and share it and spread the information to someone else because that man has no reason to lie. He absolutely didn't know about it, and there's a whole bunch of people that don't. Okay, that's why I've been telling people about these things for years. Some of y'all never heard of Rosewood, the Rosewood Massacre, until that movie came out in 1997. Okay? That's just what it is. Most people don't even know that the Gap Band, that song "You Dropped the Bomb on Me," they wrote that because of the bombs dropped in Tulsa. That's where they're from. They lived on the areas that were destroyed were Greenwood, Archer, and Pine Street, if I'm not mistaken. And that's where the Gap Band got their name from. Okay, they took a letter from each of the streets. So I'm just saying, Central Park, exactly. Okay, exactly. Jonathan Toymaker, Central Park, Lake Lanier. There's plenty of people who don't know these stories, honey. Now, it may seem hard for you to believe, but it's not hard for me to believe at all. Okay, because a lot of these stories I didn't find out about until I was grown, until I was an adult, because I never learned it in school either. And if you're someone who doesn't read and research and don't just do a lot of studying, specifically as it pertains to history, you very well may not know about these things. Okay, they haven't made a movie about it. They should. At least if they have made a movie about it, I don't know anything about a movie about Tulsa. Okay, so yeah, y'all sitting there thinking the man's lying, honey. I don't think he's lying at all. I think that he absolutely didn't know about it, and that's why he was pissed, because there's a lot of things that people don't know that has happened to Black people in this country. Some people don't know that our own government sprayed their citizens in San Diego, okay, with some sort of chemical during a military experiment that caused people to die from a disease or sickness called serratia morcensis. And then it was only revealed 30 years later. Some of y'all don't know that it was perfectly legal for them to sterilize people in this country for at least 30 years. They literally just stopped it sometime in the 70s, sterilizing the people that they felt were unworthy of bearing children. If someone had a disability, some sort of mental incompetence, what have you, if you were Black, just certain reasons, they would say that you were undesirable and you didn't deserve to bear children. So they would sterilize you. It was legal. Now, the patients didn't always know that this was being done to them, but it was legal. Okay? The Tuskegee experiment. I mean, a whole lot of stuff. We could go on and on and on. Okay? At the end of the day, it's a lot of things that they have covered up and hidden, and there's things that they're still covering up and hiding right now. This is why they keep talking about critical race theory, which has never been taught in schools anyway. That's a college level study. Okay, so what are they even talking about? They don't know what they're talking about. All they do know is that they don't want the nefarious history of the wicked, nefarious, depraved things that they have done to be, taught any further. They don't want people knowing about it. They don't want the white kids to feel bad because these things are what their ancestors did. They don't want them to have to be reminded of it, but they have no problem with us being reminded of the fact that our ancestors had to deal with it and not getting any sort of compensation, i.e. reparations. Okay? That's just what it is. The sad fact of the matter. Now, I'm about to conclude this broadcast. And tomorrow we're going to talk about how they want to bring back slavery. Okay, because they darn sure do. But I want y'all to hear what MAGA Mike had to say. Trump's in trouble, and so are the rest of his minions, and they are so worried about midterms.
Say, I am on the ballot, because in a real sense he is. If we were to lose the midterms, heaven forbid, these Democrats, y'all, impeachment's not even the big concern. They will turn every committee of Congress into an investigative body, and they'll go after the president's family, the cabinet, his donors and friends. Half of you in this room will be targeted. I run the protection program. I'll take care of you, okay? We're going to win. We're going to win the midterm, okay? All right? I'll leave you.
No, they're not going to win the midterms. And yes, he's absolutely right. The Democrats will absolutely launch all sorts of investigations. There'll be impeachments and all of that, as there should be. Now, if any of you find people within the sound of my voice don't vote so that they can lose the midterms and Trump and all of his minions can go to jail where they need to be, yeah, it's going to be real ugly on this channel, okay? Just letting y'all know. Just letting y'all know ahead of time. Don't come in here talking about you didn't vote in local elections. Don't come in here talking about you're not voting for the Democrats. Don't come here talk about any of it, okay? Because we've got to get these people out of power. They're trying to take us back to Jim Crow. They want to bring back slavery. Well, like I said, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. I already have my receipts, okay?
Kamala, is that you in my hotel lobby? This is very unexpected and a little sad, but mostly unexpected.
I am here because I am here. And being here is something that happens when you arrive at a place, which I have done today at this location.
That's not an answer. That's a GPS having a stroke.
I was simply passing through on my way to what I would say is a series of important meetings about the future of the future and what it means going forward in terms of forward movement.
You lost by a lot, Kamala. and now you're in my lobby, which means deep down, you're a fan, and I respect that. It takes courage to visit the Winners Building.
I did not lose by a lot. The margins were, and I think this is important, the margins were a reflection of the broader landscape of...
Losing. The word is losing. Very simple. 2 syllables. Even Biden gets that one right, which isn't saying much.
I have to go now. I have a podcast.
Of course you do. Everybody who loses gets a podcast. It's like a participation trophy with a microphone.
Look at Bookhorse DC talking about he'll take the couch. Bookhorse DC, I'm telling you right now, if Trump and them win the midterms and you come here and talk about you took the couch, I'm blocking you from the channel. I'm not even joking. You can think it's a joke all you want, but I'm so serious. Did you know that? David says, you know I'm not voting for no Democrats. The Democrats are worse than the Republicans. No, they're not. The Republicans don't have, the Democrats don't have ICE out here murdering people in the streets, okay? Arresting citizens even. Talking about sending citizens who are in jail to different countries where they don't even come from, okay? They're not out here trying to take away voting rights acts, okay? Gutting the Voting Rights Act. They're not the ones who came up with Project 2025. Some of y'all are so damn dumb and slow. It's really sad. It is really sad. And I was trying not to go in on y'all, but when I hear y'all saying dumb ass stuff like this, how are the Republicans? I want one person to tell me how the Democrats are worse than the Republicans. I'll wait. I'll wait. How are the Democrats worse than the Republicans? Trump has us in a whole illegal war, ruining the economy, crashing it clearly. Okay, everything's up. Okay. Now, with that all being said, Sean, that dude said most people don't even know they didn't start calling us African Americans until 1988. Yeah, thanks to Jesse Jackson. Okay, and that's why we're not going to get reparations until we start calling ourselves something else, because black means dead in the eyes of the law. It's a misnomer. Okay, that's what I've been wanting to tell y'all. You're not going to get reparations under African American, FBA, neither, because they both have the word black in it. I know y'all hate to hear it, but it's the facts, okay? Black's Law Dictionary says black is dead in the eyes of the law, period. And that's just what it is. It's a misnomer, all right? Now, with that all being said, that's the excuse they can continue to use, and they will. Okay, Rosin said insidious. Absolutely. Mr. Elevation said the Queen might... Mr. Elevation, I like your nerve. Mr. Elevation said the Queen might be petty, but she's on point. Yeah, I am petty. That's right, and proud of it. Thank you, beloved. Okay, thank you. I certainly am. Okay, aren't all Pisces, in fact, petty? Okay. It says, no comparison, says Leon. Exactly. I love you too, Angie, beloved. David said, FBA, I'm not African. Okay, well, I'm not African either. Okay. I'm indigenous to this land. All right, that's what I am. That's what my paperwork says. I don't say I'm an African American. Okay, now, with that all being said, let me get out of here. Our people are hard-headed, Queen. They won't get it until the soldiers are in the streets rounding them up. Yeah, Cream and Sherry, you're absolutely right. And they're going to be looking real stupid. Okay, they're going to be looking real stupid. And they think I'm playing with them. You come in here, and if we lose the midterms and y'all asses coming here talking about y'all didn't vote or you voted for the Republicans, I'm blocking you from the channel because y'all know I don't give a damn about how many people be in here. Y'all know that, right? Okay, yeah, you're getting blocked. All right, you're getting blocked. Now, with that all being said, Truth Brown said, Queen, don't block me. I'm a Pisces. Don't worry, beloved. I'm not going to block you. Okay? Mr. Elevation said he's indigenous. Jonathan's a Hebrew. All right? Exactly. There you go. That's right. Juju said the real Indians. Exactly. So that all being said, Ashkan said, wait, can you explain that a little more? Black means dead in the law dictionary, maybe another string. Yeah, I have talked about that a few years ago, but yes, Black means dead in the eyes of the Lord. Listen, when President Obama won the election and he was on the Frank Ski morning show, was it Frank Ski? It wasn't Frank Ski, it's somebody else. Tom Joyner. He was on the Tom Joyner morning show. When he walked out, they introduced him as the first Black president. And Barack Obama said, I'm not the first Black president. He said, Black is dead in the eyes of the law. And he's absolutely right. Y'all don't read Black's Law Dictionary? Read the 11th edition. Okay? It tells you all you need to know. All right. So with that all being said, and we can talk about that on another live. Maybe I'll do it for members or something. But anyway, until next time, beloveds, listen, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And until next time, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
With that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating